so that the citizens can understand the magnitude, do you have a cost for this design work?
The cost of design work is $192,000, $192,500. That is the max budget. And within that budget, the actual task associated with Kimley Horn and their design, which we negotiated to become an hourly not to exist fee, is $146,000. So that they'll get paid based upon their actuals that they perform.
Okay.
Their subcontract or their subconsultants have a lump sum fee, which is $46,500, and that totals up to the total design budget of $192,500. And for comparison, the total fee for Brandon Pond Road was $158,000. That was the total budget.
I know it's going to be a major inconvenience, but citizens are going to have to understand why. And and the reason I asked you for the cost is for some reason it did not get on our paperwork.
Sure.
And so that everyone will understand. Now, I'll ask one additional time. Commissioners, do y'all have any questions? If not, then I will entertain a motion.
I don't have any questions, Mr. Chairman, but I would like to state for the ones that don't know, there's a school right down past there that if this isn't fixed right, or if we try to put a Band-Aid on it and a school bus load of young'uns fall through that right there, then that's just something we wouldn't want to have happen. So just wanted to mention that. It ain't like it's just a road going nowhere. I mean, it's got a big responsibility there.
Anyone else?
Can I make one final statement, Chairman?
Yes, sir.
So just want to make sure we're clear too. This falls up under the $5 million umbrella that was allocated, I think, for the emergency funds.
Okay.
So this falls up under that. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, now I will call for a motion.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, show of hands. Unanimous approval. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. And that's all under new business. We're going to now move to public comments. At this time, I'll recognize those citizens that have signed up to speak. And once your name is called, come to the podium. We will start the clock. You will have 5 minutes to state what's on your mind. If you need a Bible for any reason this morning, I brought mine. I'll probably be using it in a meeting or two coming up. But that way we won't have to go out and hunt one. So at any time, we do have one up here. Now, if you'll call the first one.
Marcus Toole.
Hi, Commissioners in Bulloch County. I'm Marcus Toole, live at 8 Crescent Avenue, Statesboro, Georgia. I'm here just to talk, primarily to talk about the closing of the Restore. The reality is that the Restore has basically broken even for the last few years. The sale of the building will help us build new housing, and that is our mission. There's been a number of amusing comments on Facebook. My favorite one is the one that said that Marcus Toole has sold out to developers. First of all, I had no role in the decision-making regarding the Restore because I'm not a board member and I'm not the executive director. And number two, Habitat for Humanity is the 28th largest housing developer in the country. Last year, we built 11,816 new builds in the United States alone. We rehabilitated 2,788 houses. Globally, Habitat for Humanity, between new builds and rehabs and repair, we served 13.4 million people with housing solutions. We operate in 70 countries. Our network-wide revenue is $2.4 billion with a B dollars. We are a housing developer. Building houses is what we do. Our mission is, our Our vision is a world where everyone has a decent place to live. Our mission is to make home ownership affordable to as many people as possible through our home building efforts as well as through our advocacy efforts. You'll notice that my advocacy efforts are always all about making the overall cost of housing less expensive and to ensure policies that are equitable, that housing availability is equally available to all, regardless of ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, status, whatever you want to call it. We're into equitable housing as well. And so that's who we are. That's what we do. We build houses, and we advocate for reducing the cost of housing. And that is our goal, that is our focus, that is our mission. The Restore was always a means to an end, and that's who we are. Thank you.
Kathy Lee.
Before she comes up, let me ask you a question.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I think this would be interesting for people to know. When I was small, that was probably 6 years old, and started in business with my dad, houses were being built for around $12.50 a square foot. And what is an average price per square foot?
Okay. In 2018, we were building houses for $60 a square foot. Now it costs us $110 a square foot to build a house.
Okay.
So the cost of building houses has gone up a lot, and that's one of the things that's just, we're having to do what we do a different way because building houses is so much more expensive. We are in the process of starting, like right now on Henry Street, 18 Henry Street, come and volunteer. Help us fund it. We are starting 3 new houses right now. We're at the very beginning of it. So, and we are working on a partnership with the city of Statesboro that we hope will result in the construction of 6 new houses shortly. So we're busy. We're not going away. We're building houses. That's what we do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I might explain, some of y'all probably don't believe me, and I could use the Bible, put my hand on it, that houses never could have been built for $12.50 a foot, but they were. My first house cost me, I think it was $17,500, and but I think it cost around $15,000 or $16,000. I mean, it's $15 or $16 a foot. It's just the cost of everything is higher, especially today. And so now you can call the next one.
Ms. Kathy Lee.
I'm Kathy Lee, and I live at 129 Old Byron in the Oak subdivision. And I just really want to thank you, Commissioner Thompson, for all your help, because the roads wouldn't have got approved without your help with the developer, and thank you so much.
Well, thank you for coming. But that was because of a lot of people's help, and we did get it fixed correctly.
And I forgot, I want to thank Ron and Brad. You guys were amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That doesn't come very often, so we cherish that statement. Next.
Okay. Lynn Fatika.
Before you start my clock, I am board member for Habitat for Humanity. If anybody wants to have a conversation with me of why we made the decisions we had to make, I'd be happy to meet with you afterwards. Good morning, County Chair, Commissioners, and staff. I come before you today with 2 items. First, with a heavy heart that I come before you today. One thing my dad, who was a veteran of World War II and the Korean War as a submariner with a Purple Heart, taught me was to stand up for myself when someone says something that's not true about me. At the last commissioners meeting, a gentleman who leads the local group, known to all of us, stood at this podium and made a statement that anyone says they were accosted at the First Friday event were patent lies. When I heard that statement, I could tell you I lost sleep over whether or not I should come forward with my thoughts on that. Please let me tell you why. At the First Friday event on West Main Street, I was talking to a vendor across from their booth and was trying to talk to them about their products when a lady came up to us, interrupted our conversations, shoved a piece of paper at me and said, "You need to read this about our taxes." I politely took the paper, wadded it up, and threw it in the garbage can after I walked away. The vendor looked at me with a look on her face of how rude was the other lady. And that's maybe where the conversation might end for some. The woman with the piece of paper exercised her freedom of speech, not to mention petitioning government. I most certainly exercised my First Amendment to wad up that piece of paper and throw it in the nearest trash can. But to leave out the key fact is that this person interrupting my conversation with a small business owner, with me as a customer trying to do business with that small business owner, would be wrong. We wouldn't put up with someone, seeing a political figure, walking up to us in line at a restaurant when we're trying to order and start talking to me about an issue. Why should it be any different when most of us, when I have a conversation with a small business entrepreneur at a downtown festival to promote the neighborhood and small businesses and not political causes? Should the downtown authority have better rules in place to ensure these events and stay family-friendly and politically neutral, especially respectful of all of us who want to spend a few minutes learning about our small businesses in Statesboro and Bulloch County, the backbone of our community? Yes, absolutely, the DSDA needs to have better rules in place, and I know they'll have these rules in place soon, so that we can get back to having family fun events that we've all come to know and love during the First Friday events. Let's keep our focus on what's more important, turning off our TVs, putting down our cell phones for a few minutes, both of which are filled with much anger and hate in this political season. Get out to walk the streets of the beautiful historic downtown and other parts of Bulloch County. This is the last time I'll talk about this because we need to stop tearing this community apart in this county, but instead have open and honest conversations so that together we can build a better Bulloch County for all citizens. That leads me to another topic. People have criticized Splash in the Borough at this podium in our Park and Recs Department. First, in talking to Ms. King, and thank you for your time, she explained to me, Splash in the Borough makes money. It's the aquatic pool, which was moved, from my understanding, from Honeybowen Park up to Mill Creek. That's not the profitable part. However, many people use that aquatic pool for rehab from surgeries and injuries that they've had, and also just plain old exercise. But we need to think bigger than just whether or not it makes money. Let's look at the economic impact that the Park and Recs Department in general brings in. When there are sporting events at Mill Creek or other parks such as soccer, baseball, or others, they bring teams in from all over. Many of the teams stay at hotels because of the distance they come to play in these events. The hotel charges taxes, which goes to the county and the city. Same goes for the restaurants in the area. I've been in restaurants in town where there are teams eating, again, tax revenue to the county. These activities drive business to our businesses, providing not only thousands of dollars of tax dollars, but jobs for our citizens. But just as important, they also provide a quality of life for our residents. So let's look at the big picture so that we can have a better Bulloch County. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? All right, that ends our public comments. We will now move into staff comments.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dink Butler, Public Works Director. Just wanted to give you another update on our road situation status after Tropical Storm Debbie. As you may remember, we had 91 roads closed at one point right after the storm. We're down to 5, the 2 paved roads, Brandon Pond and Neville's Denmark, and we have 3 dirt roads that are still washed out completely. We expect to have 2 of those back repaired by the end of the week, and the 3rd one next week. So we'll have all of our roads back for safe travel for the public, hopefully by the end of next week, weather permitting. Just some additional information, we've been working very closely with the Board of Education with the buses and the travel routes for the buses. We've stayed in very close communication with them. When we get a road back to where we think it's safe, we give an acknowledgement to them. They've inspect the road for the bus travels, and we've been able to increase that dramatically for the residences and get convenience back for bus travel to our dirt road system and for our residences. So I say all of that to say we've made a big push. We've not had a whole lot of interest in external help to help us with this. We've spent a good bit of money on materials, pipes, rock. We've rented some trucks to help us haul so we can get these things done in a more timely manner. But we're making I think we've made a big push. I think we've made a lot of headway under the circumstances in the time frame. So I just wanted to give you all that update. Secondly, Corey, our emergency management director, and I have received a check from GEMA, which was from Tropical Storm Adelia last year, for the road repair process that we done then. And this check is in the amount of $839,393.81 reimbursement from that storm last year. And I want to give that to our financial director. So, if y'all have any questions?
Ms. Dink, what rates do we use, and why do you believe we're not getting outside help with some of this?
What I've put out there and as feelers, just trying to get some idea of whether someone would be interested. I put out the FEMA equipment rates for whatever equipment they may use. I didn't limit the equipment to anything. I left it open for them to determine what equipment they could use to help facilitate the situation. And to kind of put it on a level playing field for everybody, we tried to come up with a labor factor so that was not a fluctuation point that made it unfair from one to the other. So we used the DOT established labor rates for whatever position it is, whatever equipment operation it is. We looked at those rates. We looked at the going rates around for equipment operators. I adjusted the DOT equipment rates by 50%. To try to get that up to where equipment operators would be compensated somewhere between $18 and $22 an hour. So between equipment rates by FEMA and those adjusted labor rates that I put out to a few people to give me an idea whether they would be interested, I didn't get any positive feedback. And I think that's several reasons. I think there's so much work going on in the development, industrial development areas and residential development areas that they don't have to settle for something less than. They're making more money doing other projects and they're all staying busy. Now, we have rented some outside service trucks to help us haul materials, either from the quarries or rock locations to our facility, and from our facility out to the roads. Between our labor force in-house and our dump trucks, we would not have gotten near as far at this point had we not rented trucks to help us. So we run 6 dump trucks on a regular basis, 6 to 7. And between short employees and sick time and vacations, and we've been, and with the rental trucks, we've been able to run 10, 12 trucks a day, trying to get this material moved, get the roads repaired as quick as we can. So I say all that to say I think we're not competitive with the market around right now with what's going on for construction-related industry.
That's understandable. Thank you. Appreciate all y'all's work.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Dink, I don't say, not so much as a question, but just to let people know, like Deacle Road, there's a lot of people that are familiar with it, but Sunday I had a lot of them out there come up and thank and said they were gonna call you. Joel was one of them, you and Robert and all and Mitch, for getting that open. And just to let everybody know, that was a case scenario, just like the Neville's Road. It started out that they was not gonna be able to fix it for 6 months. And Dink and all them went out there, and of course, they're gonna have to double work, because the pipes were separated and all, but they filled in with number 4 stone, I think, and where it flow through, and they got the road open, but now it's gonna be in turn to dig all that back out and get it right when they get a chance. But just to let everybody know, it ain't like that they look at it and say, well, we ain't gonna fix it, because they do go at it at every angle they can, and when it's just unsafe to fix, you just cannot fix it. But wanting to tell y'all that there was many people that appreciated what y'all done, and they told me, and they should be getting in touch with y'all, but if they don't, I was passing the word along to you.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. That is a temporary fix. So we were able to do that and get the road back open. It was a big inconvenience for a lot of people there. That was a bus route as well. And so we're working with engineering on trying to establish the permanent fix for that location. That road is washed out 3 times in the last year. And so we were really trying to establish some kind of a permanent fix so we don't end up going back several times. But we were able to do that on a temporary basis. And at a certain point, I think we have to weigh the inconvenience to the public against the cost. And some things is effective to do temporary repairs on, and some things aren't, such as Ron mentioned earlier. It's not cost effective to do a temporary repair on Neville's Denmark Road. Anything we done would be extensive. Whether we could even get the materials to do temporary may take us 3 months to get the materials to even do a temporary repair there. And if you do it, then you're going back and tearing it all out, throwing it away and starting over again. And if you're looking at 6 months for a complete repair without the additional cost, I think we have to weigh all of that. But thank you. I greatly appreciate that, and I'll pass that on to the department. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'd like to give a brief update and I guess introduction from the fire department. This year we were budgeted for some battalion chiefs. We've actually have those. Then here, and I'd like to bring them up to you and introduce them to you. We greatly appreciate this opportunity. This has been a big step forward for our agency, especially with operations and then safety and service to the public. So we thank you for what you've done for us, and if it's okay with you, I'd love to bring them up and just introduce them to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen? So they are currently on shift. As of last Friday, we have Mr. Mark Roberts, the gentleman here on my left. He came from Douglas Fire. Mr. Ben Allen came from Vidalia Fire. And then we have Mr. Jason Gammon, as many of you may already know, but he was promoted from within. So we're extremely excited to have these gentlemen with us and what they're doing for our department, and we thank you for the support. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to have y'all.
Glad to have you. Thank
hey,
you.
hold on real quick. Can I get you guys right here?
Okay. Facing that way.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Any additional staff comments? Now, I'm going to ask the commissioners to do something, because I want the commissioners only up here to stand up with me. And I want y'all to know, the employees of Bulloch County, would y'all stand up? Just the employees of Bulloch County. Now, that's quite an outstanding group of people right there. regardless of what you hear, whether you're gonna be employed or not, when we're gone, I want y'all all to know, and the commissioners can ratify this, we appreciate the job that each and every one of you have done. You know, everybody catches a lot of criticism, but there is no harder working group of employees anywhere than here in Bulloch County. People don't understand that you have to have plans drawn. You have to have equipment. You have to have this. You have to have that. Sometimes you have to wait on it. But to make this simple, I want these commissioners, do y'all have, any of y'all have anything to say before my last request?
Just that I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for what you do.
Anyone else? Then I want these commissioners to give y'all a hand of applause, and we appreciate y'all. Thank you. We'll move now into staff comments.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry, my mind's backward. Into commissioner comments. If any commissioners have any comments.
I would like to say something, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
For the employees of Bulloch County, now, if you do something wrong, I can't help you. But if you don't, you'll have your job as long as I got anything to say about it. Just want to let you know that. And I appreciate everything y'all do.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say something that was, in this particular meeting is, very refreshing to hear from some citizens to come up and we don't do this job for people to come up and give us pats on the back. We do this job because we love this job. But it's still very refreshing to hear citizens come up and say, yeah, y'all did a good job. Everybody needs to hear that sometimes, instead of coming to the meetings and it's always, this is wrong, that is wrong. We got, these men and women go above and beyond the work, especially when the hurricane came through. Our people were out working in dangerous positions when they had families at home. And I, for one, will always stand with the employees of this county, because they do a good job. But I'd like to particularly thank the citizens that stood up here this morning, and not just because they gave us praise, but because they let the majority of the citizens who believe we do a good job, and we're not just up here collecting a paycheck, which amounts to about 25 cents an hour, to make this county safe, to make this county livable. I don't believe we need to be saved from I don't know what, but I just appreciate what we do. I appreciate what our workers do, and we're going to continue to do what we think is right and what we have been elected to do, what's right. That's all I have to say, sir.
Anyone else?
Well, we need to keep our sheriff in mind, Mr. Chairman. I think he's got some of the same things you've been going through.
You know, a heart stent can make you 21 years old again. If you've never had one, volunteer to go get one.
I don't know if we can handle you or Noel being 21 again.
I don't think I'd want to go back to 21, maybe 50, but if you haven't had one, you've probably got something to look forward to. And they do make a difference, I'll promise you that. Yeah, we will keep him in your prayers. I understand he had the heart cath and the blood was red, flowing perfectly, and that he's a ball of fire ready to start back to work. So, anyone else?
Mr. Chairman, I just echo what's already been said by the other commissioners. We do have a great staff, and sometimes we don't say it enough, but I especially, I appreciate all the departments, and just reflecting on the storm a few weeks back, I do very much appreciate what the guys and girls were doing on the front line, taking care of citizens, because I'm sure some of them, families wanted them to be home with them, but they were out there taking care of the citizens of Bulloch County, and that's very gratifying, and I say thank you. And like I said, we appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Last call. I think I've already said enough, so I'm not going to add anything to what has been said. But thank all of y'all for coming, and I must now call for a motion to adjourn into executive session in accordance with the provisions of OCGA 5014-3B2 and other applicable laws pursuant to the advice of County Attorney Jeff Akins for the purpose of discussing personnel matters. I need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion, second, discussion, none. All those in favor, show of hands. Unanimous approval. We are now in executive session. Thank you all for coming.